Alright, I have finally finished my 4-part series on airplanes. So now, Mass Effect will return to its regularly scheduled time slot on Tuesdays. And there just won't be videos on Thursdays. I'm going back to once a week instead of twice a week. Pick up where we left off with Lydia in the Watcher's Chamber. That would be an excellent chapter title. I'm writing that down. The Watcher's Chamber. Yeah, I will probably write a whole extra chapter because I like the title. And it'll fit. It's going to work. Always has. Now, let's pick up where we left off again, shall we? While we're waiting, since I talked about chapter titles and writing, shameless plug for my book, The Descendant. I write my own science fiction, which is available on Amazon. I have the second and the third, and even the fourth books are done, and I'm in the process of very slowly writing the fifth book. Life keeps getting in the way, and I'm doing other things, like my brand new 3D printer, but that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the book. That's just why I'm not writing the book. Well, as soon as I get some stuff straightened out with the publisher, or a publisher, when we get this back on the road, there will be a second book. It's already written. Hell, if I have to, I'll self-publish it. We'll see what happens. Now, Liara already had her little, 3-sentence spiel that kind of got overwritten because of other events at the end of the previous episode. But being a Prothean archaeologist, she should be losing her marbles being here. Don't you think? I know she's 106, but she's only 106. She seems remarkably good at containing herself. Alright, I just realized something. For how many times I've played this game, for how many times I've beaten this game, I don't know, maybe 8, 10, a dozen times, I don't know, multiple. I've just now realized that the Watcher's name is Vigil. I always read it as Virgil. I would have argued and died on that hill about it. Until right now. The more you know. Oh wait,
you are not
bar.
Prothean, but you are not machine either. This eventuality was one of many that was anticipated. This is why we sent our warning through the beacons.
Looks like some kind of VI program. Pretty badly damaged.
I do not sense the taint of indoctrination upon any of you. Unlike the other that passed recently.
Hooray, we're not
Perhaps
indoctrinated.
there is still hope.
This is incredible. An actual Prothean VI, and I can understand it.
I have been monitoring your communications since you arrived at this facility. I have translated my output into a format you will comprehend. My name is Vigil. You are safe here for the moment, but that is likely to change. Soon, nowhere will be safe.
Are you some kind of artificial intelligence program?
I am an advanced non-organic analysis system with personality imprints from Kesad Aishan, Chief Overseer of the Ilos Research Facility.
Why did you bring me here?
You must break a cycle that has continued for millions of years. But to stop it, you must understand, or you will make the same mistakes we did. The Citadel is the heart of your civilization and the seat of government. As it was with
Alright,
us.
I guess I'm
It
not
has
sneezing.
been with every civilization that
My
came
nose got
before
distracted
us.
by
But the
50,000-year-old
Citadel is a trap.
artificial
The
intelligences.
station is actually an enormous mass relay. One that links to dark space, the empty void beyond the galaxy's horizon. When the Citadel relay is activated, the Reapers will pour through, and all you know will be destroyed.
Ah, man, that water's almost too cold. Now, my turn to talk again.
How come nobody ever noticed the Citadel was an inactive mass relay?
The Reapers are careful to keep the greatest secrets of the Citadel hidden. That is why they created a species of seemingly benign organic caretakers. The Keepers maintain the station's most basic functions. They enable any species that discovers the Citadel to use it without fully understanding the technology. Reliance on the Keepers ensures no other species will ever discover the Citadel's true nature. Not until the relay is activated and the Reapers invade.
Which, to unpack that little bit of lore, means that the Keepers are however many millions of years old the Citadel is. And they are some probably uplifted, heavily, genetically modified, bioengineered something semi-sentient slaves working for the AI. All they do is keep the door unlocked without everyone realizing it's a door. What a fun existence they must have,
How do the Reapers survive out in dark space?
We have only theories. The researchers here came to believe the Reapers enter prolonged states of inactivity to conserve energy. This allows them to survive the thousands and thousands of years it takes for organic civilization to rebuild itself. But in this state, they are vulnerable. By retreating beyond the edges of the galaxy, they ensure no one will accidentally discover them. They keep their existence hidden until the Citadel relay is activated.
For Shepard's part, that's actually kind of a dumb question. The Reapers are AI. They're giant, couple kilometer long intelligent spaceships. In order to survive out there, it would be extremely expensive. But we could do it with the technology we have right now to run a computer for that long. Get yourself a regular old nuclear reactor, which they are more than large enough to house. And I'm sure with their, fancy advanced alien technology, they could build much, much smaller, more powerful, more efficient ones. All at this, they're simultaneously smaller, more powerful, and more efficient than what we're building now. And the magic lies in being cold. So for them, being out in dark space between the galaxies might actually be an advantage because it's cold. There's nothing out there making heat. There's no stars. There's no planets. There's no black holes. Or at least, relatively speaking. There are still planets and stars in between the galaxies, and black holes, of course. But they're very far apart. The point is, it's cold there, which makes it really easy to run certain types of processors, computers, semiconductors, quantum computing stuff. And the colder you go, the less power some things require, depending on which system you're using. That's part of why heat is the enemy of computers. It's the faster it goes, the more heat it's going to make. So if you can make it colder, you can maintain the same speed and run better, safer, longer. Or run a higher speed at the same temperature because you have this cooling circuit. Well, out there in dark space, you could get really cold, like fractions of a Kelvin. Borderline absolute zero cold. And you run very slow. Hundreds of times slower than a regular computer runs. You could run at hundreds of hertz instead of gigahertz, like our regular CPUs are running on average now. And, I mean, they're just floating out there in dark space. They don't really need to do anything except wait until the relays open again so they can kill stuff. So, you know, they go into hibernation like a bear, or, you know, some of those exotic grasshoppers that let themselves become frozen solid during Arctic winters. And for very minimal power, you could run, you know, a massive computer, very cold, very slow, for a very, very long time. You know, the millions, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years it would take. It's no big deal. It's just a nap.
If he turns on the relay, the Reapers can wipe out the Council and the Citadel fleet in one fell swoop.
That was our fate. Our leaders were dead before we even realized we were under attack. The Reapers seized control
What are you
of
talking
the
about, Cat?
Citadel, and through it, the mass
Meow?
relays.
What's the matter?
Communication and transportation across our empire were crippled. Each star system was isolated, cut off from the others. Easy prey for the Reaper fleets. Over the next decades, the Reapers systematically obliterated our
Meow?
people. World by world,
Meow?
system by
Where's your
system,
face wet?
they
You playing in
methodically
your water
wiped
again?
us out.
Probably.
I swear, this cat is so uncivilized.
The war was lost. If you'd surrendered, they might have let you live.
No offer of surrender was ever given. Our enemy had a single goal: the extinction of all advanced organic life. Through the Citadel, the Reapers had access to all our records, maps, census data. Information is power, and they knew everything about us. Their fleets advanced across every settled region of the galaxy. Some worlds were utterly destroyed. Others were conquered, their populations enslaved. These indoctrinated servants became sleeper agents under Reaper control. Taken in as refugees by other Protheans, they betrayed them to the machines.
So,
Within a few centuries, the Reapers had killed or enslaved every Prothean in the galaxy. They were relentless, brutal, and absolutely thorough.
I still don't think faster than light travel is possible. But in this, you know, hypothetical universe where they all have, you know, these mass relays and faster than light travel is possible, depending on the number of planets the Protheans inhabited and the number of Reapers there are, I don't feel like it should have taken centuries to exterminate them.
But they were crafty.
Even if you have, say, 1,000 Reapers, and the Protheans have 100,000 colonized systems. So each Reaper has to go to 100 systems. How long does it take to travel between planets? How long does it take to blast the planet into, you know, volcanic radioactive glass and move on? Centuries? I don't know. In my book, it doesn't take that long. Spoilers.
I don't understand. Where did the Reapers go after they conquered your people?
Our worlds were stripped bare, harvested by the indoctrinated slaves. Everything of value, all resources, all technology was taken. Certain that all advanced organic life had been extinguished, the Reapers retreated back through the Citadel relay into dark space, sealing it behind them. All evidence of the Reaper invasion had been wiped away. Only their indoctrinated slaves were left behind, abandoned. Mindless
So,
husks, no longer
the
capable
question
of independent
that
thought.
comes to my mind.
The indoctrinated soon starved or died of exposure. The genocide of the Protheans was complete.
The question that comes to my mind is, will the network of mass relays work without the Citadel? Because if that was the case, and if Shepard knew this, Shepard could just become some terrorizer and destroy the Citadel. And the Reapers are going to be stuck out there in dark space. They won't have that relay to come back. And sure, you'll obviously be labeled as, and arguably rightly so, labeled as a filthy villain terrorist type person by all the people that don't know of the Reaper threat. And I'm sure summarily tried and executed for your crimes against, intergalactic law. But everyone will be safe.
You said you brought me here for a reason. Tell me what I need to do.
The conduit is the key. Before the Reapers attacked, we Protheans were on the cusp of unlocking the mysteries behind mass relay technology. Ilos was a top-secret facility. Here, researchers worked to create a small-scale version of a mass relay, one that linked directly to the Citadel, the hub of the relay network.
The conduit is not a weapon. It is a backdoor onto the Citadel.
How did you manage to stay hidden?
All official records of our project were destroyed in the initial attack on the Citadel. While the Prothean Empire came crashing down, Ilos was spared. We severed all communication with the outside, and our facility went dark. The personnel retreated underground into these archives. To conserve resources, everyone was put into cryogenic stasis. I was programmed to monitor the facility and wake the staff when the danger had passed. But the genocide of an entire species is a long, slow process. Years passed, decades, centuries. The Reapers persisted, and my energy reserves were dwindling.
How did you survive?
I began to disable the life support of non-essential personnel. First support staff, then security. One by one, their pods were shut down to conserve energy. Eventually, only the stasis pods of the top scientists remained active. Even these were in danger of failing when the Reapers finally retreated back through the Citadel relay.
There were hundreds of stasis pods out there. You just shut them down? You killed them?
This is another moment where I'm going to take a cue from Lydia, because another shameless plug for my book.
He couldn't let everyone die. Better to sacrifice some so others could live.
This outcome was not completely unforeseen. My actions were a result of contingency programming entered on my creation.
I bet they didn't tell the non-essential staff about this contingency.
I saved key personnel. When the Reapers retreated, the top researchers were still alive. My actions are the only reason any hope remains. When the researchers woke, they realized the Prothean species was doomed. There were only a dozen individuals left, far too few to sustain a viable population. Yet they vowed to find some way to stop the Reapers from returning, a way to break the cycle forever, and they knew the Keepers were the key.
Before we get on to the Keepers again, can you imagine that? 12 people are all that's left of your species. I mean, fortunately for them, they're all in one spot. But could you imagine if there's only 12 humans left on the planet? As he said, it's not you can't sustain or recreate a population like that. There wouldn't be enough genetic diversity. And that feeling, having to live out your life knowing this is going to be the end, and still having to get along and interact with the other 11 people. And then there's only 11 people. I mean, how many times can you have the same conversation around the campfire, That's a thought I'm not going to let sink in anymore.
Aren't they under the influence of the Reapers?
The Keepers are controlled by the Citadel. Before each invasion, a signal is sent through the station compelling the Keepers to activate the Citadel relay. After decades of feverish study, the scientists discovered a way to alter this signal. Using the conduit, they gained access to the Citadel and made the modifications. This time, when Sovereign sent the signal to the Citadel, the Keepers ignored it. The Reapers are trapped in dark space.
Saren can use the conduit to bypass all the Citadel's external defenses.
Correct. And once inside, he can transfer control of the station to Sovereign. Sovereign will override the Citadel systems and manually open the relay. And the cycle of extinction will begin again.
Brilliant idea. Throw back to 3 minutes ago when I was talking about not having enough genetic diversity. These Protheans are advanced aliens. Not only are the 12 people remaining, but they're some of the 12 most brilliant scientists the species has to offer, right? And they've got this crypt full of hundreds of bodies. Even if the bodies have been decomposing for centuries, you can always pull DNA from bones. I mean, we've been processing DNA from extinct subspecies of man that have been gone for tens of thousands of years, and we've cataloged all of that. Could they make clones? Could they, themselves, make test tube babies and splice in, the other people's DNA in bits and pieces here and there and mix and match and create the necessary genetic diversity? Now there's an idea. I'm sure there's some lore-ridden excuse for not having enough power left because, Vigil is shutting everything down, or they didn't have the facilities on hand, but again, being, advanced fancy aliens, there's no reason for them to not have the facilities on hand. After all, I have a 3D printer. I can make whatever I want. Why can't they? I mean, everybody's got an Omni tool. They have 3D printers on their wrists. Sure, it's only a certain size, but you can print the parts to make a bigger one, and then use that one to make a bigger one, and then use that one to make one that runs hotter and print in metal instead of plastic, and so on. And anyway.
I'll stop Saren. Just tell me how.
There's a data file in my console. Take a copy when you go. When you reach the Citadel's master control unit, upload it to the station. It will corrupt the Citadel's security protocols and give you temporary control of the station. It might give you a chance against Sovereign.
Wait. Where's the Citadel's master control unit? I've never heard of anything like that.
Through the conduit, follow Saren. He will lead you to your destination.
Saren's got enough of a head start.
Time's wasting.
Grab that data file and let's go.
Shepard, are you sure? Who knows how much longer Vigil will be here? Even now the projection is weak. This might be our only chance to speak with it, our only link to the knowledge of the Protheans. It is the opportunity of a lifetime.
She's right, but I don't have any other dialogue options.
We're in a race to save the galaxy and you want to play Q&A with a hologram?
You are right. I am sorry. My personal feelings clouded my judgment. We should go.
The one you call Saren has not reached the conduit. Not yet. There is still hope if you hurry.
It's because he's walking. And I've got a Mako. If we can get back to it. Through another long, slow elevator ride. Oh look, we're all standing in the middle of the elevator again. There are other crew. We could just leave Liara here and let her nerd out.
All their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the
No
Reapers
person
just as
left
they were.
behind.
They failed.
Protheans didn't need us. They gave us a chance. It falls to us to make the most of it. So I suggest we hurry.
Yeah, scare us. We're hurrying. That was a weird little bounce. Oops. This button to zoom. These controls are so weird. Knowing my luck, they're going to have another set of controls in the next game, and it's going to be weird all over again. Oops. There wasn't enough damage to roadkill him? There we go. Aim. Come on, the Mako's even got a pointy front. Should have cut him in half. See, we've all got Omni tools. We could 3D print blades to put on the bumper and just cut everyone in half. You don't even need guns. You can divert the energy from the guns to make the shield stronger, right? Just like in Star Trek. That's how this works. Ouch. So much damage. I feel like the Mako is OP. I've kind of always felt that way. Just because it has so much
It's incredible.
shielding.
We don't have time to
Or
admire
the barrier.
We have to get
There
through
we go.
that relay. These Geth aren't going to make it easy on us.
Damn, that looks good. I'm getting all tingly. All those Turians, oh no! The horrible spiky monsters are being killed by horrible spiky computers. I would say, oh, the humanity, but none of them are human.
Activate the defenses. Seal the station. The arms aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel. Evacuate the council. Citadel Control. Citadel Control. Do you copy?
That was fast. The fleet, like, just got in system. How'd he get there already? Oh, wait, conduit.
Hang on. Things are going to get a little rough.
See, I drove past 4 Colossuses. They were shooting at me the whole time. I never even returned fire, and I still had a little bit of shields left. It's OP.
Critical failure.
Like it's a Colossus. It's another tank. The Mako isn't even a tank. It's got wheels, not tracks. One of those should be, like, a fight. A mini-boss. They only feel like mini boss. Superior on foot.
Brain die halfway through that word.
Oh no, we broke the makeup. Alright. Time to play with guns. Oh look, we cut him in half. Just like I said we would. What a coincidence. It's almost like I know what's going on.
Almost.
Almost.
Emergency evacuation.
I need to adjust my mouse sensitivity. I did like a 180 there on accident. I was like, bam. See, I can't even do it again. The husks scared me. Oh look, I still have my gun. And these guys put theirs away. No awkward elevator conversations? Come on. You can't just kill them. They're sentient beings. What a terrible murderer. I like how he's holding a rifle and has another exactly identical rifle on his back. Like,
The Citadel's closing. They're sealing the station.
Don't let the enemy ships inside the arms.
Centurions for you. Standing to the last. Now, if Sovereign is supposed to be like 2 kilometers long, that gives you an idea on the scale of how big the Citadel is. It means that little spire is like 2.5 kilometers long. And it's just a tiny fraction of the diameter of the thing.
Siren's locked the elevator. Suit up. We're going outside.
Now, that's a whole different can of worms they just opened. Remember I was talking in, not the previous episode, I read about Omni-tools then. The episode before that, where I talked about spaceships, and the artificial gravity, and the Mass Effect fields in the plating, and how that wouldn't work. So how are we standing on this like that? You know, I could see it working on excuse me, on the elevator, because you can spin, it's a cylinder, right? And you just spin the cylinder and everything sticks to the inside walls and you make fake gravity. But again, that spinning trick only works on the walls. So this spire in the middle here shouldn't have any gravity. it's the focal point. It's the axis that everything is spinning around. So you can't use that trick to make artificial gravity. Anyway. So how do they do it? Where's the gravity? Charge me. You're not allowed to either. I missed. See? He should have just floated away. We shouldn't have even had to fight him. Which is another interesting thing about getting in gunfights in zero gravity and vacuum. If you're using, actual guns, such as these, the recoil is going to push you around. And if you don't have fancy magnetic boots that keep you stuck to this giant space station, then recoil is just going to push you in the opposite direction of your target, and you're going to float away, right? So you'd have to have some sort of station-keeping thrusters, hydrazine, right? Well, I don't know. There's artificial gravity somehow. And, if they're going to use the magnetic boots as the excuse, then you shouldn't be walking, running around like this, right? Because you got to wait, put this foot down, engage the magnet. Put another foot down. Into the aura. And then lift the first foot, and oh look, another one. Yes, my ice pistol destroys everything. Like that. Oh, another one! How many of you guys are there? Goodness. Alright. Well, I heard the noise. That's loud. I heard the noise. We leveled up. Hooray. What kind of helmet is that, Garrus? How are you supposed to see anything? This late in the game, I'm not going to get to level up again. But nobody has anything that's within 2 points to give them a new ability. Well, here, I can get one. Not that I need that right now. Fat lot of help that does. Alright.
Bag 'em attack.
Shoot it. There we go. Speaking of the Citadel, giant space stations. And, all the things that you can't do that they're doing. Like artificial gravity. And faster than light. I'll stick with it. Because I don't think it's possible to exceed the galactic speed limit. So it would take a very long time to get anywhere. Right? Alpha Centauri, the nearest star, is still like 2.5 light years away. if you can only get 1 or 2% of light speed, it's going to take a very long time to get there. Generations. Oh, look. Do whatever I want with my external hard drive. Problem solved. Go back to my pistol then. Okay. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. Ah, Krogan.
Take him out.
Anyway, my point is, it's not feasible, or it's very long, it's very slow, without light speed to exceed the speed limit to get to another solar system. I think the best, most efficient use of humanity's resources best use of humanity's time and resources is not trying to leave the solar system and colonize other planets. Hell, it's not even worth trying to colonize other planets inside this solar system. Why would you spend all the rocket fuel and money it takes to get off of Earth, out of this planet's gravity well, just to go back to another gravity well, like Mars? I mean, we'll go there for scientific purposes, but not to colonize, not to house billions of people. That's dumb. Bam! One hit kill. I don't even know what that was. It was gnarly, that's what it was. So, like I was talking about O'Neill cylinders and artificial spinning them to generate artificial gravity, I feel building O'Neill cylinder space stations is the best way to house people not on Earth. Especially without the time and effort involved trying to colonize, get out of, terraform other planets like Mars or Venus, or one of those floating cities in the upper atmosphere of Saturn. Or what have you. And we would be best served building places to live. But obviously you gotta build a lot of them, right? We got a lot of people. So we need to build ourselves a Dyson swarm of O'Neill cylinders. I guess that's a thing I have to explain. A Dyson Swarm. I'll start with the Dyson Sphere. Because you can't have one without the other. Oh no, everybody's down. It's alright, I have Unity.
Send me back in.
So Dyson Sphere is, you know, in a cliche, built with solar panels, and you build a giant ball of solar panels to encompass either the entire star or the entire solar system. I know, it's a big project. You gotta build a lot of solar panels. But imagine how much power that gets you. Because you would literally be generating every possible watt of power based, you know, depending on the efficiency of your solar cells, that your host star, you know, the sun in our case, is making. That's a lot of juice. That's a lot of BTUs. To use an old term. So, a Dyson Swarm is not a complete 100% enclosed shell around the star, but rather a sphere made out of points, you know, like points on a graph. A collection of points, and each point being a satellite. And you have, you know, space in between satellites for ships to go through and asteroids to come in and whatnot. But you're still making a 360-degree, you know, up, down, left, right, a ball, a sphere, completely around the star or the solar system, depending on how big you want to build it, or somewhere in between. Maybe you just want to include the inner terrestrial planets and, you know, just inside of or just outside of the asteroid belt, build it there. And then just don't worry about the gas giants. Save those for later. So the phrase that I like is economy of effort. Sure, we can go to other solar systems or other planets and colonize and terraform and whatnot. But it's going to take a long time. It's going to be expensive. It's only going to be so-so. You know, even if we colonize Mars after spending, you know, thousands of years and uncountable amounts of money to terraform Mars and crash comets into it and whatnot, it's still not going to be Earth. Gravity still won't be right. And who knows what that will do, you know, in a generation or two to human physiology development. I mean, we don't even know if, you know, it's capable. If we are capable of having babies in different gravity. Maybe, you know, humans can't reproduce in the lower Martian gravity because something weird goes on in the womb. And then everyone would have to be a test tube baby, and then, you know, who knows what weird stuff's going to happen there. And then you start running into, like, you know, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World kind of scenarios. And I don't know if you've read that book, but I've read that book, and I don't want that society. Damn, this is... Alright, I don't even get to level up again. I don't know why I was checking that. I should be playing on a harder difficulty. Shepard just feels OP. Like, I'm like 2 shots, bam, dead. Okay. 3, 4. 4 hits and a little bit from Garrus. Like, 4-hit kill in, a shooter game is not necessarily par for the course. Certainly makes it feel powerful, but it feels. The Geth don't feel like the boogeyman they should be. Oh look, a grenade.
I was afraid you wouldn't make it in time, Shepard.
So anyway, long story short, humanity needs to build a Dyson swarm of O'Neill cylinders in our solar system to house everyone, and then just use all of the asteroids and planets for raw materials to sustain those O'Neill cylinders. And then by the time we're running out of asteroids, I can talk. By the time we're running out of asteroids and we can't lift any more helium out of the atmosphere of our gas giants and blah blah blah, then I'm sure we will have already gotten to and colonized other solar systems in a similar fashion. But as I kind of alluded to earlier, I think it is a waste of effort to spend all of that energy getting out of Earth's gravity well just to fall into another planet's gravity well. Once you're outside of the immediate sphere of influence of a planet and its gravity, it gets a whole lot cheaper and easier to move mass around. Rockets, asteroids, and so on. Because of orbital mechanics. Now, we have ourselves a boss fight. Let's finish the video game. This is going to be a long episode. But it's not going to be long enough to split into 2 episodes. So, grand finale.
Let's end this!
You've lost. You know that, don't you? In a few minutes, Sovereign will have full control of all the Citadel systems. The relay will open. The Reapers will return.
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter on Vermeer, but I've changed since then. Improved. Sovereign has upgraded me.
You let Sovereign implant you? Are you insane?
I suppose I should thank you, Shepard. After Vermeer, I couldn't stop thinking about what you said. About Sovereign manipulating me. About indoctrination. The doubts began to eat away at me. Sovereign sensed my hesitation. I was implanted to strengthen my resolve. Now my doubts are gone. I believe in Sovereign completely. I understand that the Reapers need organics. Join us, and Sovereign will find a place for you, too.
Yeah, briefly, until they're done with their genocide and they just leave you to starve to finish the genocide. You wouldn't even be human, or Turian in his case. You wouldn't even be you anymore.
Sovereign's controlling you through your implants. Don't you see that?
The relationship is symbiotic, organic and machine, intertwined, a union of flesh and steel. The strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither. I am a vision of the future, Shepard, the evolution of all organic life. This is our destiny. Join Sovereign and experience a true rebirth.
No, you can't. Alright, I'm not gonna go there because medical technology is doing crazy stuff. Who knows what we're gonna have, 160 years from now. Much less a half dozen different races of aliens.
I can stop it from taking control of the station. Step aside and the invasion will never happen.
We can't stop it, not forever. You saw the visions. You saw what happened to the Protheans. The Reapers are too powerful.
Some part of you must still realize this is wrong. You can fight this.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there is still a chance for the implants. Sovereign is too strong. I'm sorry. It is too late for me.
This is a big graphic if you don't know what's going to happen.
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
Very cinematic, though. Garrus runs around. Oh, Liara's here too. Okay. Push the button. Boop. Galaxy saved.
Vigil's data file worked. I've got control of all systems.
Virgil.
Quick, open the station's arms. Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down.
See if you can open a communications channel.
The Destiny Ascension. Main drives offline. Kinetic barriers down 40%. The Council is on board. I repeat, the Council is on board.
Normandy to the Citadel. Normandy to the Citadel. Please tell me that's you, Commander.
See, and they weren't very clear. This kinetic barrier is down 40%. So do they mean they're down to 40%? They have 40% left? Or they've lost 40% of their kinetic barriers and they still have 60% left? You can tell that whoever wrote that dialogue was not in the military. I'm not claiming to be in the military either. But I've known a lot of military people. I've read a lot of military books. And I feel like that would be a critical point to get across. And sure, you could make the argument that they're in a gunfight, or they're in a ship battle, and they're panicking. But this is the Destiny Ascension. It's the flagship of the Citadel defense fleet. So that captain of that ship should probably be the best in the galaxy, right? I mean, they're literally carrying the Council on board. Alright, that would kind of be Lydia. Yeah.
You were expecting someone else?
Exactly.
Distress call, Commander. I'm sitting here in the Andurra sector with the entire Arcturus fleet. We can save the Ascension. Just unlock the relays around the Citadel and we'll send the cavalry in.
Are you really willing to sacrifice human lives to save the Council, Shepard?
This is bigger than humanity. Sovereign is a threat to every organic species in the galaxy.
The Council must be sacrificed for the greater good. Don't waste your reinforcements. Hold them back until the Citadel arms open up. Save the human fleet to attack Sovereign.
What's the order, Commander? Come in now to save the Ascension, or hold back?
The first couple of times that I played the game, I always let the Council die. Because I wasn't sure if, the fleet would be good enough.
Opening the relays now, Joker. We need to save the Ascension no matter what the cost.
But then there was some
I
spoilers.
hope you know what you're doing, Shepard.
Like the second game came out and I was like, wait, you can save the Council? That works?
Alliance ships, move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
Commander, we're picking up reinforcements. It's the Alliance. Thank the goddess.
Finally, somebody's glad to see a bunch of humans show up.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on Sovereign.
I'd like to point out that whether they have 40% left or 60% left, kinetic barriers still had something left, right? So the ship should still be in fighting shape. So now you've got the Destiny Ascension, right? The flagship of the fleet. They better have some big guns, right? So you've got what's left of Citadel fleet. plus what's left of the human fleet. So this should be roughly, fleet size, right? Half a fleet plus half a fleet is still a whole fleet. Here come those implants. I want to know how he gets bigger. That's why you wear a helmet. Wait, see, his arms get longer, his legs get longer, his fingers get longer. How do you fit more inside of something? It doesn't work that way. You know? You dig? He hasn't even so much as been implanted.
I am sovereign, and this station is mine.
He is assuming direct control. I can't tell you how horrified and difficult the first time I played through this fight. Alright. That's new. I don't remember them ever dropping in more Geth. And I'm still recharging all my powers. Ooh, big booms. I don't know what that was. That, I'm assuming. Alright, shield boost I can do. Oh, you hit me with a sabotage.
This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
As I started to say before the fight, I feel like it's less of implanting as it was just transferring Saren's mind into a robot body and putting some flesh over it so it looked vaguely alive. You know, Terminator style. That Geth is in for an ouch. Alright, even if the other Geth are weaklings. Who the heck is that? Oh, it's just another Geth. Even if the other Geth are weaklings, I feel like they've leveled Saren to keep him on par with where Shepard is. Although now he's just stuck and not doing anything. There we go. How a robot body disintegrates into ash, I don't know. But that's what happened.
Its shields are down. Now's our chance.
Hit it with everything we got.
Four shots from assuming a railgun of some flavor. As long as you've got the capacitor banks, like, that thing should have a theoretical unlimited rate of fire. Like how all the other shrapnel is all the same shape. Dramatic music. Desire to know more intensifies.
Captain Anderson, we found them. They're in here.
Like how he's still a captain.
Take it easy. It's over. You're safe now. Where's the commander?
First time I played this, I legit thought, like, no way, they killed Shepard after all that. They're gonna end it that way. Although it kind of makes sense, like, you martyr the hero, it makes him a hero, right? Like, I totally bought it, hook, line, and sinker. Garrus is limping away, like, poor boy. My favorite chicken dog got hurt. But then this happens. And I was like, nah, that's dumb. You should have been able to survive that. That was a huge piece of shrapnel. And thus begins the legend of Commander Shepard. That damn smile. And that, ladies and gentlemen, just
Ambassador.
nerds in general.
Commander Shepard,
That's the end of the first game.
we have gathered here to recognize the enormous contributions of the Alliance forces in the war against Sovereign and the Geth.
Many humans lost their lives in the battle to save the Citadel. Brave and courageous soldiers who willingly gave their lives so that we, the Council, might live.
There is no greater sacrifice, and we share your grief over the tragic loss of so many noble men and women.
The Council also owes you a great personal debt, Commander, one we can never repay.
Maybe now
You
you'll listen
saved
to
not
me.
just our lives, but the lives
Or
of billions
to
of
Shepard,
Sovereign
not me.
and the Reapers.
I'm not Shepard.
Commander Shepard, your heroic and selfless actions serve as a symbol of everything humanity and the Alliance stand for.
That's why I'm a Spectre.
And though we cannot bring back those valiant soldiers who gave their lives to save ours, we can honor their memories through our actions.
Humanity has shown it is ready to stand as a defender and protector of the galaxy. You have proved you are worthy to join our ranks and serve beside us on the Citadel Council.
Counselor, on behalf of humanity and the Alliance, we thank you for this prestigious honor and humbly accept
We will need a list of potential candidates to fill humanity's seat on the Council.
Given all that has happened, I am sure your recommendation will carry a great deal of weight, Commander. Do you support any particular candidate?
I mean, just because of the way the story is told, I don't see how anyone
We
could
need
choose
someone
otherwise.
with the courage to stand up for what he believes in. Someone like Captain Anderson.
Him? You must be joking. Anderson prefers to let his fists do the talking.
Only with you, Ambassador. Only with you.
Are you sure about this, Commander? The captain's a soldier, not a politician.
That's
We've
the
already
point.
got too many politicians on the Citadel. The captain would be perfect for this job.
I think it's an inspired choice. The Council would welcome him with open arms, should he accept.
I'm honored, Counselor. As humanity's representative, I'll do everything in my power to help the Council rebuild.
Sovereign's defeat marks the beginning of a new era for both humanity and the Council.
Is it though? Is it though?
Sovereign was only a vanguard. The Reaper fleet is still coming. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. And I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
I like how they just kind of trade glances. Yeah. Off to do Spectre stuff.
Shepard's right. Humanity is ready to do its part. United with the rest of the Council, we have the strength to overcome any challenge. When the Reapers come, we must stand side by side. We must fight against them as one. And together, we will drive them back into dark space.
Driving them back into dark space is a little lenient. Should destroy them, not chase them away. Now that, I don't have a cursor to point. That thing in the background is not the Citadel, and it wasn't the Destiny Ascension. What the heck spaceship was that? I don't remember that little ending bit there, but that was cool. So, that's only 10 minutes longer than a usual episode. And that is the end of the first game. Next week, we'll start the second one. And then after that, the third one. I don't know how I would do Andromeda, because I have not purchased Andromeda on Steam. Andromeda was the very last game that I played on consoles before I converted to the PC Master Race. So I still have Mass Effect Andromeda for the Xbox One, and I still have a functional Xbox One. But I have no idea how I would record that and get it onto YouTube. And I don't know if my hands could go back to using a controller. That'd be weird. Weirder than the weird keyboard controls for Mass Effect. Anyway, I don't want to sit here and watch all of these credits. Nobody ever does. And I'm sure you don't either. But thank you for being around, watching this with me, and listening to discussion on some of the science things in this science fiction franchise. And hopefully it has invoked a little bit of thought. Not just, I mean, it certainly invoked forethought for me. Like Virgil versus Vigil. I don't know how I'm going to sleep about that tonight. Anyway, drop a like, subscribe if you found this magically somehow on accident. I'll see you guys in the next video. In the next game. All that jazz.